say. I've been feeling this way for far too long. And now you're gone. Took me away from all of my fears. Kept me away from all of my tears. Now you're gone. And now I'm lost. Finally, I think I can see clearly now. I'm in love. Think about me one more time before you slowly. I'm in love. Took me away from all of my fears. I'm in love. Kept me away from all of my tears. I'm in
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lunch Therapy. Happy Moin Day. Hi, everyone. Here on the show, we call Monday Moin Day. No one quite knows why. Danielle wants some more slow banjo. We do love slow banjo on the show. Someday we're going to get Kermit the Frog on here to play some slow banjo, I'm sure, because he does it the best. You know, he does it the best. Today is Moin Day, and we have the incredible Charles Brogdon on the show today. He and I met on the internet because I was struck when I saw his work online. It's going to blow you away. He does miniature sets, television sets, sitcoms, mostly the 80s, 90s, and he has this Flikr page. And anyway, we're going to talk to him about how he builds these sets and what drives him to do this and how he manages to pull it off. And we're going to have a contest. So stick around, bring your friends. We're going to meditate at the top of the show because it is Monday and we need to get our head right. Behind me, I have the beautiful scenery by Guignel, and I have done some funky stuff to it to make it look somewhat miniature, I think. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't really look miniature, but I tried. I tried to do it. I'm going to try and make everything miniature today. Let's see what's going on here. Chuck is here. Hey, Chuck. I miniaturized your footage as well, but I don't seem to have it here. Anyway, let's get into the show. We're going to do a meditation, and we're going to get our head right, and then we're going to do some breaking news, and then we're going to bring on Charles to explain himself. I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 Okay, everybody. So we've been enjoying some extended breathing sessions lately. Last week we had Cynthia Levin do a breathing exercise. Today I'm going to walk you through a little guided meditation. Hoy, Todd, great to see you. We've got a fun contest today here, so stick around for that. As usual, no one will win anything, but we'll try to see if we can come up with a prize. So breathing. We're going to breathe today. We're going to take this a little seriously because I think it's super important for us to get grounded and centered here at the top of the week. So I'd like you to pause, take a deep breath, hold it, let it go. Place your feet flat on the floor. Really feel your feet in contact with the ground underneath you. Now place your hands on your stomach and take in a deep breath in through the nose. Hold it. Out through the toes. And when you do this, notice your stomach rising and falling with each in and out breath. And when you feel comfortable, I want you to close your eyes. Now, as you keep breathing deeply into your stomach, I'd like you to breathe in for a count of 5. Hold for a count of 5. And then let it go for a count of 5. And keep breathing like that. In for 5. Hold it. Let it go. In for 5. Hold it for 5. Out for 5. Great. So I'd like you to now slowly bring your attention back into the room, noticing the sounds around you, and begin to open your eyes and check in with yourself. How are you feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. I'm ready to dare mighty things. Hopefully everybody else is. Here's a funny video from, I don't know if it's supposed to be funny, but anyway, it's an Australian guy telling you how to meditate. I thought you might enjoy it. Here he is. About real meditation.
Real meditation is not sitting around watching thoughts or chanting a meaningless mantra. These are mental exercises, concentration exercises. They are not meditation. All they do is confuse us, bore us. Being in the mind to be free of it is like trying to be free from the human ego by being a narcissist. Real meditation is love. L-O-V-E, love. It is expanding our sense of self to one another, to everyone and everything. Real meditation is timeless, infinite. It releases our thinking that we are our thoughts and shows us that we are our love. One love.
I like that. I think that's cool. All right, you got some breaking news here, and that's what we're looking at there. Breaking news. It's a good thing we meditated because there's some breaking news today. And the news, yeah, I love that Australian gentleman. I'll have to get his name. But he says real meditation is love. Sounds good to me. All right, so as many of you know, the Perseverance rover landed on Mars on February 18th. We talked about this. It was extremely exciting to see that thing touch down on Mars, because it's just, a lot of times it'll just go sailing by, or it'll touch down and then they won't be able to move it. But this thing is on there. It's roving around. They're able to control it. Very exciting. We're getting pictures back. But the one thing that I've been questioning is what happened to the Integrity. The Integrity is the little helicopter that was on the bottom of the thing. And supposedly they were going to fly it around on Mars, right? But these people take their time. If I put that thing up there on Mars, I'd want to fly the thing immediately, and I'd probably crash it into a tree or something. Of course, they don't have trees on Mars. But yeah, I crash it into something. Maybe a big rock. I don't know, but I get stuck somewhere, wouldn't be able to use it. So what they do is they move super slowly. And what they've been doing is they dropped it from the bottom of the rover, and then it sat there, and then they drove the rover away, and you could see it sitting there, and we're like, when are you going to fly the thing? And they're like, hey, hold off there, pal. Don't rush us. We got to fly this thing, and we're going to do it right. And it's difficult because the atmosphere on Mars is like 1% of what it is here, so it's really hard to get enough liftoff. And these people really know what they're doing. Guignel thinks Charles built all that shit, and no, he did not. He built the sets that we're going to look at today. So let's go just take a look at, they finally flew the thing last night, this morning at like 3 a.m., and they live streamed it on the internet. And what they did is they took it up in the, I don't know if you could call it air. They took it up 3 meters above the planet, and it hovered, and then it went back down. But this is all very exciting for them. If you work at the Jet Propulsion Lab, this is super, super exciting. There they are, all huddled around, just wondering, is this thing going to go? They're completely silent. They got a model of it right in the middle, and they're just looking at it going, yep, that's what it looks like. Probably is like a working model, too, because these people, they have like one on the ground just so they can take a look at it.
This is downlink.
And they're freaking out.
Confirming we received Mars 2020 telemetry. Confirming that we received Mars 2020 events, confirming that we received helicopter data
They're all
products.
messed up. We got to fast forward here. And
altimeter data.
This is all basically all that happens is they start clapping. There they are, they're clapping. That means that the thing took off. Those are all the excited people.
And altimeter
And then
data.
they got some pictures.
Confirm.
So they did it. They flew the thing, which is impossible. And I think that we should celebrate that with some applause from the cult of the hummingbird. They're daring mighty things, right? And you can see on the wall of that place, I don't know where you can see it, but somewhere in here you can see, on the side of the wall there, it says "Dare Mighty Things." That's their slogan. And that's our slogan here at Lunch Therapy, too. All right, let's move on. We're going to get to Charles Brogdon. We're going to figure out what the heck is going on with him. There he is. Charles, how are you doing?
Hello. How are you?
So great to see you, and thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Oh my God! So I was making a contest for the show where I showed like sets, sitcom sets, and then we guessed what they were. What the sitcom was, and it was a super fun contest. And we're gonna have one like that here today. But one of the things is when I was looking around at sets on the internet, I saw these incredible miniature sets, and I was like, "What the heck is this? How the hell does this happen?" And it turns out you're the creator of these sets.
That's right.
What got into you? How were you inspired? Tell us about your journey to making these incredible things.
It is. It's a unique hobby. I haven't seen any others. Really, when I was 12,
Yeah.
my family went to Burbank, California, LA for a vacation, and we went to see Super Password. You remember that game show with Bert Convy?
Yeah.
And
Bert Convy. I love it.
we went to it was at NBC right on, I think is it Alameda or Olive, and watched the show, three shows back to back to back. And I was amazed that it looked nothing like what I saw on TV.
Isn't
the
it something?
was
Why?
white
What was different
behind.
about it? What was different about it?
Well, the cyclorama behind on TV was blue. And when we got to the studio, it was, of course, white. And I didn't know it was lit. I just thought it was the whole lighting grid, the cameras, the audience wrangling people. They told you when to applause.
Yeah.
When to applaud. They would, flash that sign. And then if they didn't want you to applaud, they would shush you.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I never see any of this. This is cool. I love it.
Yeah.
So I was 12. I went back home, and and they didn't allow any pictures. You couldn't even think about bringing a camera in. Don't even pull a camera out. You'll be out of here.
Ruin the magic for the rest of the world.
So I was like, well, that stinks. I'm going to go home, and had a bucket of Legos right there.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to see what I can do. And I built it. And it was very raw. It was very crude. And I just left it. And a few years later, I came back and I looked at it. It looked a little amateurish. And I said, I can do better than that, surely.
Yeah.
And that's how it sort of snowballed into more and more and more. I went to a Paramount tour a few years after that, and we went to the Cheers set. And again, looked completely different. Nothing like what you see on TV. And I built the Cheers.
Like? That was it just the bar was up on a stage and you were in the audience?
It's in a sound stage, and you have your audience stand right across from it.
Yeah. And
you have a lot of catwalks and lights and curtains and tables where they do script reads and, just all this stuff that you don't get to see.
I wondered how they shot Cheers too. Did they shoot it all at once as a play, or was it start and stop? Do you remember?
I don't know. We didn't go to the show itself. This was it's on the tour.
You just saw the set.
So
I get it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's start and stop. If they probably like to get through it as best they can, but I'm sure they stop.
Yeah.
But I went home and I created that, and I just started creating these things, and I would spend more time on them because I didn't want them to look like a kid's, project. I wanted them to look like the real thing. Sorry, my cat just jumped in my lap.
Love cats.
And it sort of started from there, and I eventually moved to LA and worked on several TV shows.
You did?
And I kept building.
That's what I wondered. So you worked on TV shows. What kind of shows did you work on, and what was it like? What did you do?
Sitcoms. I did Roseanne. I did Third Rock from the Sun. I did Sybil. There was a short-lived show called Counties with Molly Ringwald.
Yeah.
Men Behaving Badly with Justine Bateman. The Young and the Restless.
One of our viewers wants to see an example of your set.
Okay. Well, do you want to show a picture, or do you want me to hold up my
I want you
thing?
to hold up the set, but I think we ought to take a look at it.
Okay. This is the only one I've got right now to hold up, so I can't be trading them out. They're just big.
I've got many more pictures. But
okay, good. This is Pee-wee's Playhouse, and I built this about 12 years ago. And let's see if you can see. There we go.
Look at that.
Gary Panter, who basically created this set and designed it.
Let's see if I can get out of the way here. I'm going to hold it up there. I'm going to make it as big as possible.
Okay.
Wow. Look at that. And the lights and everything.
Yes, and there are cameras and booms and everything, but if I pick up the set, they'll all crash and fall. He guided me very nicely on the questions I had building these sets, because most of the sets that I build there's no picture. I only go, it's an educated guess.
Yeah.
There are very few pictures of sets floating around out there, which is why I created my Facebook page, On the Set in Hollywood, which is just focused on behind the scenes shots of Hollywood.
I slipped a few of those into the quiz as well. A few pictures from the set.
That's my passion. I should have been a set designer.
Yeah.
But I'm not. But, you know, if I can get somebody to give me little hints who worked on the show, which is very rare, but sometimes they do. They usually can't remember. I mean, I sat with Beverly Archer.
Yeah.
And from Mama's Family, she played Iola. She couldn't remember anything. I mean, I had all these questions about the set, and I said, well, you know, were there catwalks? I don't know. How many cameras were there? I don't remember. You know, where's the audience in relation to the set? I can't remember. So she's a very nice lady, but a lot of these people don't pay attention to the things that I would pay attention to.
Yeah.
So over the years, I built these sets, and I've quit. I've retired, you know, 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't built one since 2013. That was the last thing I built. And I retired in 2000. Some of these sets are really old. They're from the 90s. So I'm surprised the glue is actually holding up in them, but it is.
Yeah. Now, do you still maybe want to design sets?
No. I did a job in LA not even 2 years ago. It was more of a scenic designer type job with the Brady Bunch on HGTV. They renovated the house.
Yes, I saw that.
And my episode was the Christmas episode where they cooked with the Pioneer Woman, and they had a Christmas tree, and they were hanging all these ornaments that looked like Brady things. Those were all mine. I made those.
Really?
So now I'll do stuff on demand, but as far as like, do I just sit around building this stuff anymore? No. I just don't have time, and it's time consuming, and storage is an issue because they're big, and when you have 40 of them, you know, it's a huge closet taken up with the stuff, and they get dusty and all that stuff.
Loretta's saying you're way too young to retire, sir.
Oh, well, thank you.
Let's get into the contest, because I want everybody to see these sets, and this is gonna be a fun contest, and the winner gets a T-shirt. And here we go, contest. Okay, so here we are. This is the sitcom set contest, part 2. The first one we had, real pictures of sets, and now we have, luckily for us, we have Charles' sets here. I'm going to start off with a picture of Charles with his book. This is something we didn't mention. Yes. He has a book. You have 2.
I have 3.
3.
That's a very old picture. That was in 2009. And right when I put the sets on the internet, it kind of went viral, and everybody called me and wanted, David Letterman called, Good Morning America, all these things. So I put out 3 books, and they're still available at blurb.com. I don't even have one of them. I have 2 of them, but not the last one I did.
Really?
So they're good books. They're good.
They're for sale out there on the internet. I think it's on Amazon as well.
Just Blurb. As far as I know, just blurb.com.
Just Blurb. Okay.
blurb.com.
All right. Veronique is here. She lost a connection for a moment. All right. Let's move on to the contest. Oh, wait. First, this is you. This is something I want to show people, because this is you with the building, the CBS building that you've built.
And with hair.
And you have some hair, which is great.
The CBS, that is Studio 33 at Television City. I built it so it comes apart in the middle. You have the audience on one side and the actual stage on the other side. And it's The Price is Right and Family Feud and, what else? Pyramid. All of those shows shared that stage. So
that's the one that's over by the Grove, I believe.
Yes, that's Television City at Beverly and Fairfax.
City. Wow. So you're one of our people says Charles doesn't age. I'm sure QAnon would be very suspicious of that. They're going to have a conspiracy theory about him. Now on the wall there, you have all the lights, and it's incredible. Are these Are these all the different sets that are on the wall there in the racks, or are they just different things that you use? Yeah.
Those are all my sets. That was back when I was building the entire thing. I would build the lighting grid, the cables, all the way up to the top of the soundstage. So you look to my immediate left, and you see sort of an orange set and a little blue set with all those Mole Richardsons right in front. That was Three's Company.
Wow.
And so every show that I kind of liked, I would build, and then people started requesting shows that I'd never even really seen. I'd never seen an episode of Friends, never.
Really?
But I built it. I built it from clips on YouTube. I still have never seen an episode of Friends all the way through.
That's hilarious. So, okay, here's the first one for the contest. We have a bed here. We have a staircase. There's a weird little horse sculpture there. This is one of my favorite shows growing up, and I think I've watched every episode of this show. One of the scandalous things about the show was that the mother and the father slept in the same bed, which I think was a new thing for sitcoms, right? And that's the famous bed on the right-hand side. Let's see if anybody in the chat room can guess what it is. I think you can. So did you watch the Brady Bunch a lot when you were a kid?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's older than I am. I was born in 76.
Yeah.
So it was just off the air, but I watched it in reruns my entire childhood. I have every DVD. So when they called and told me that I was going to be working on a Brady episode, I freaked out.
Yeah.
Not to them, because I didn't want them to fire me right away, but that was just a dream job.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and so in that show, they took the exterior Brady Bunch house, the actual Brady Bunch house that they showed, basically when they'd show the house, but not the interior, of course, because that was a set.
Correct. It's on Dillon,
so they took that
Dillon
house
Street.
and they turned the inside into what the Brady Bunch house looked like. Is that right?
That's it. That's exactly it. It's in the valley in North Hollywood on Dillon Street, and they only used it for exterior shots back in the 1969 through 74.
Yeah.
But the goal here was to make the real house look like the Brady house inside, and that's exactly what they did. They did an incredible job.
Did they? I saw clips of it, and the Brady Bunch characters, the actors, actually worked on it, right? Physically worked on the building of it.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they filmed them doing it.
They worked on it. Yes, exactly. They probably did a lot.
They probably did. They seemed like they were getting into it, which is fun.
Right.
That must have been fun for them, actually. All right. This is one that I think people should know because we just talked about it. One of the questions before when we had the set, and maybe you don't know this, but where did Norm sit? Any ideas? Oh, now I'm giving it away. But anyway, Norm. It's hard because the chat room is delayed, so they never get the answer anyway. So, Norm sat over by the bathroom apparently, and you have the bathroom right there. And oh my God, it's so incredibly detailed. I love that. So now, do you start with Legos when you make these?
When I start, I get a press. I go to Home Depot and I get a press board for the base.
Yeah.
And then I paint the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I build a crude set out of Lego bricks. And after that, I paint everything. I paint it all. And then I start getting into making furniture, which is really where it slows. The whole thing slows down
with the furniture
because there's so much detail and all that. And you use anything you can think of, to-go boxes, aluminum foil, plastic bits, wooden dowels, whatever you can find to make it look like it needs to look. So it's not pure Lego bricks, but those are the set walls generally because there's a lot of flexibility. Mm-hmm. When I can do anything with Legos. I mean, you can go anywhere with it and do anything. And a lot of glue, and you put the sets on the board, weight it down, and come back about a week later and start hanging the lights and placing the furniture and everything else.
Do you ever get involved in making models of anything else, or making Lego buildings or anything like this, or is this your main hobby?
No, I don't. This is it. I know there are fantastic Lego builders out there. I'm not one of them. In fact, my goal was to make you not see any Lego bricks at all.
Right. And I don't see it. I just know from the Flikr page, they show you building the walls, or you know, and then you dress them up, and basically they're just the walls,
Right.
the Lego part. I mean, it's a lot harder to make things from scratch. It's just wild. One of our viewers wants to know what you did on the set when you worked on the set of these shows.
Production assistant. I did some internships.
Yeah.
At the Young and the Restless, I was an intern, which of course the entire time I was making mental notes of the sets and building all of them. Like they would give me a choice. Do you want to go work in the booth today, or do you want to go out on the soundstage? Of course, I chose soundstage. Who wants to be in a booth?
Right.
So I would go to the soundstage and literally drink it in. It was great.
Yeah. You know, you just have a real passion for this. Was your passion about sitcoms, or was it about sets? You know, where did your passion come from? Like you said, you visited the set, but like something ignited some real interest in the details of this. And you're obviously somebody that observes things very closely, but where did it?
Well, it came from, I guess I was a TV junkie when I was little, and TV was really good back then, I think. And maybe I've just grown up and now I'm grumpy and I don't like it, but I don't know where. I always knew I liked the idea of all Mama's Family. There was no Mama's Family. It was just a bunch of actors in Hollywood. And so really all this stuff doesn't exist. So it's kind of like meeting, you know, the magic of Hollywood, the imagination, and the reality of, wow, Mama's Family really is shot on a dirty street in Hollywood with, you know, a bus going by on Sunset Boulevard. You know, that's where Mama's Family really is. I don't know how to explain it. It was just sort of
It still amazes me today, and I'm an actor, and it amazes me that these shows are going on. I still think of them as being someplace else. Like even the Bill Maher show, you know, Real Time with Bill Maher. Like I watch it on TV, and I don't. Every once in a while, it dawns on me that it's just happening like a few blocks over. You know, I mean, they might have moved from Television City now, because I think that might have closed. I don't know, but it's like you always have to reorient yourself and say, wait a minute, this is going on just over there. You know,
so right. Bizarre. It's like Designing Women was supposed to be set in Atlanta. And when you watch it, you get the feel of Atlanta, and you know they're throwing references into the script that you recognize as Atlanta. But the reality was, it was on a dirty soundstage at Warner Brothers in Burbank. You know, next to other, just sawdusty
soundstages.
Soundstage.
Yeah. I love the lights too. Now, do you try and get the lights accurately, or can you? Is it possible to even do that?
As much as I can. I mean, it depends if I've seen a picture of this real set or not. I try and arrange them.
Yeah.
Like the Young and the Restless are 100% right. I can guarantee you, because I spent the entire time looking up. But shows like the Brady Bunch, when I built the Brady Bunch, I don't know that that's how they were. It's kind of an educated guess from going to other film shot shows versus videotape of how they might have lit the set.
Yeah. So in this one, this is The Big Bang Theory. We see on the right and on the left are other sets. So generally in these sitcoms, there's maybe 3 sets.
Well, you got your sort of home base set, which is what we're looking at here, which is the elevator and the apartments on either side. Those don't really change week to week, so they just leave them up, and they're all connected. What you have is a swing area off to the side, maybe by the audience stand, or maybe just a little bit further down the soundstage, where they change the set each week depending on what the script says. So one week it could be a restaurant, the next week it could be a doctor's office, and then a jail, or whatever the script says.
Do you get into the history of sitcoms at all?
No, I know what I know, And but I don't like, if you were to ask me a lot about the Honeymooners and things like that,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I enjoy them, but I don't know the history of them.
I don't even think of the Love Boat being filmed on a stage. You know what I
See?
mean? Like, I don't even think of that. I thought, I still to this day, like, I never thought about it, but I thought they were out on a cruise. They got all the actors to go on this cruise.
When I built stuff like this, I wanted people to see, I wanted them to go, wow, I can see what I recognize, but there's so much more going on.
Yeah.
With the what do they call those, the 360 lights up there, whatever they are in the pool. It's a real pool. It's probably 2 feet deep or something.
Yeah.
You always see people getting out of the pool and getting into a towel or something, but you don't see them, bobbing around too much.
Yeah. I love that. And then the lights up there, they replicate daylight and the sun.
Correct. Yeah. Those kind of lights that are round just spread light everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Here's you building a set. What set is that, do you think?
I'll let them answer.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they can guess. There, Charles. It's the delay with the chat. It always makes it impossible to do these quizzes.
I'll give you a hint. It's going to be hard to see. It's Seinfeld.
Oh, it is. That's a pretty good hint. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, that strangely enough seems to be Seinfeld as well. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. It's pretty amazing. Let's see. Okay, so let's move on. There it is, Seinfeld. Oh, this one. This one I can guess because I don't even know what it is. So I'm going to try and guess. I'm going to go with Three's Company. Is it?
Yep.
And it
Three's
is.
Company.
I love that show. That show was one of my favorites because, it was preposterous. The show was like the same plot every time. But,
it was ridiculous, but every time it was funny.
Every time. And Jack Tripper, the way he would, Pam got it. The way he would like
all day long. He got chewed out by everybody.
And the way he fell over the couch was just always funny to me. Always funny. So Pam Palmieri got that one. So I don't know. She might be getting a shirt if she doesn't have one already. This is one I threw in there. This is an actual set. And it's one of those things where you're like, that was a set as well? You'd think they just go out to some old house somewhere. Let's see if anybody gets it. I don't know. It's kind of an old one. Do you know what it is?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we're going to get any answers on that one. Chuck, I think Chuck would know. Okay, I'm going to do it. Drop it. Bonanza is what Chuck said. Not quite. Okay, so I'm going to give you the plot. It's basically these rich people move out to the country and they start a farm because they want to get away from the city life. But they're very citified people. Ma and Pa something. It's not the Beverly Hillbillies, which is what I thought it was at first.
But it's close. It's in the same era.
It's the same era, and this might even be like a knockoff of that, or the vice versa. Beverly Hillbillies. It's a good guess. Jed is involved. No, Jed isn't. But let's see. There we go. Matt got it. Green Acres. Green, and so did Pam. Pam's getting a shirt, I think. Yeah, that's it. Green Acres. Chuck got it. Beverly Hillbillies reversed. Yeah, that's a good point. They took the plot and they just reversed it. Boney's on the bongos for sure. Green Acres. Now everybody's getting it. That's great. Okay, so yes, Green Acres and Ham, I think is the full name of it. Oh, and this is one that we saw earlier, the actual set. I see Cherry there, which is one of the characters. I see, oh, there it is there. Yeah, I love that. It's so great. I see Cherry. I think the window had a name. I don't know, but this was a great show. And they're still talking about Green Acres in the chat room. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one be for a second, see if anybody guesses it, because I think we already said what it is. So I think we have a good chance of getting it. All right, so let's see. I'm going to make you smaller again here. Well, no, maybe I won't. Pee-wee's Playhouse. Yay! You got it. Pee-wee. And Matt came late, so he didn't even cheat. He didn't even cheat on that one. All right, so I'm going to make it smaller again. We're miniature now. We're miniaturized. Okay. Ma and Pa Kettle. Yeah. What was Ma and Pa Kettle? Is that a show? Or is that like the characters on a show? I don't remember. Or maybe that's a cartoon. I think that's a cartoon, Ma and Pa Kettle. Probably another ripoff. So Pee-wee's Playhouse, yeah, he told us. But some people weren't here when that happened. Okay, this is an actual set. This is one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. What's Charles doing these days? What are your plans moving forward? All right, they want to know, Charles, what you're doing these days. What are your plans moving forward?
I would work. I don't have any shows that I'm desperate to work on, but I would if they were interested in what I do. I do other kinds of art. I do art on canvas.
Oh, you do?
Not regularly, just sort of when the mood strikes.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Jose got good times.
Good job, Jose.
All right. Nice. Yeah.
I don't know what the future holds. Hopefully something fantastic.
You're obviously very talented and very detailed. And I'd hate to see any of your talent go to waste. And you have a great muse in that cat there. What's the cat's name?
This is Franklin, and he's a rescue kitty, and we're pretty inseparable.
Yeah. I'm a big cat person too. I don't think my cat's ever physically been on the show, but I think he's going to have to be. All right, here's another one. Florida was her name is actually a good clue. I believe this took place in Florida, this show. And it had some of the great actresses in it from sitcom acting. Yeah, Kamala thinks you should do a museum show at the LA Crafts Museum. Have you ever been to the LA Crafts Museum?
Never.
You have to go check that out because but there's also a miniature museum, right, in LA, near the Crafts Museum, I believe. I think there is. Speaking of coming late, Night Court reminds me of Harry Anderson, who became a regular TV actor who got started doing geek tricks on the late night circuit. Yeah, he was a comedian and a magician. Long needle through the arm. I remember seeing someone do the long needle through the arm trick on Mike Douglas. I don't know if anybody watched Mike Douglas. This is before your time, Charles. But they had a guy who came on, and he took the needle and he wiped it on his leg, and then he stuck it in his arm. And I remember him saying, "Oh, you can sterilize a needle just by hitting it on your leg." And I thought the other day, I still believe that. And that was totally wrong. You can't sterilize a needle.
He's giving himself the COVID vaccine.
Now you'd be
very popular.
Sued or something. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Golden Girls. There it is. Golden Girls. I don't know if anybody...
Jose gets it.
Yeah. I'm going to do this. Watch this. I'm going to put the chats on the screen behind me here. That's kind of fun. I don't know if it'll work, but this is kind of a new thing I'm trying. It's ready. Look at that. Drink Lysol. I don't know. Oh, yeah. The sterilize the needle thing is like drinking Lysol. I don't know who said that, but that's funny. Chuck did. Betty White was in the show. Yes, Golden Girls. I think Pam Palmieri is really killing it. I think Matt is doing quite well as well. I think Jose is... I need to get a leaderboard or something next time. Yes, it is the Golden Girls. A lot of people love that show, the Golden Girls.
It's a fantastic show.
Yeah,
one of the best.
Really one of the best. And this is another one that is one of the best, but neither Charles nor I really watched it very often. But it's one of the great ones. We still have some work to do watching this show because I know there are a lot of episodes. Let's see. Yeah, everybody can time their chats to see how fast they appear on the screen. I think that's what Pam was saying.
Now, I say I never watched the show,
Yeah.
but I did visit the set in 1994. Somebody took me on this show set and said, this is a new sitcom called Blank,
Yeah.
and it's going to be on NBC. And I said, well, that's a dumb name for it. It's just, it doesn't tell you anything. It's just generic. It's stupid. And all of a sudden, the show is
You
huge.
know, it goes to show you, nobody knows anything. Because you know what? Like, logic tells you.
What's going to make it.
I remember when Cheers came out, too, I said, there's no way they can have a show that's just set in a bar and the people are in the bar the whole time. That's just not going to last. Like, how are they going to do that?
Right.
And I was totally wrong. And none of
What,
us
9
knew
or
that.
10 years later, they're still
It's
there.
still one of the most famous shows ever. It's this Big Brother. Did anybody get it? Oh, Jose got it. Jose is kicking ass. He's getting a
Yeah,
t-shirt.
Jose's good. Jose's very good.
He's getting a
We got some
t-shirt.
good players today.
Yeah, we do have some good players. Well, these are some good sets. So there's the book. I hope you all will check it out. This has been Lunch Therapy's sitcom sets. All right, so moving on. I like the chat box. The chat box is kind of cool. I lost it. Todd Lee said Family Ties. We're actually on a set now. Do you know what it is, Charles? It's a tough
This
one.
is Big Bang Theory
Oh, nice. Wow. That was quick.
because I built it.
You built this set as well.
If I spend time building a set, I study it from top to bottom, and there's no getting out of my head. I know exactly where we are.
Yeah. Jose, I think, won the contest. I don't know if anybody claims. Yeah, Pam was close. So it might be Pam and Jose who get T-shirts. I don't know who has T-shirts out there. But, yeah, that was super fun. You know, obviously it's a testament to your building skills that the sets are just so accurate. It's incredible.
I wish I had building skills that were, usable around the house or, brought me millions of dollars, but this is what we got.
Well,
Sets.
I still think you have those skills and you can use them however you want, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. This is the Flikr site, if anybody wants to go. And the cool thing about it is he has it categorized by soundstage, which is, it's great because I was going through there going, I didn't know, I know all these studios, but I wasn't here in the 70s or whatever, or the 80s, so I had no idea that these things were being shot, Sunset Gower. I know where these places are, Paramount, CBS Television City, like we said. It's cool. And then you can click on each one of them and see all the sets, and you can see there's a lot more than what we showed. It's incredible, really. It's incredible. And it's great that you have photographs of all these things because even if the set, blows up or burns down, you still have the photographs of it, which is great.
And what surprised me about a lot of these sets in real life is, how small they are.
Yeah.
And when you walk onto the soundstage, it's tiny. I worked on Roseanne, and I visited the Roseanne reboot as a Carsey Werner alum.
Yeah.
And it was like going back home again. I was sitting in the Roseanne set, and it's tiny. It's tiny. It's so small. And
That's
that's the magic part to me. It's like this tiny little house, but we're all familiar with it. And it's not a house. It's not a house at all.
Not a house at all, yeah. But we also imagine, if there's an upstairs or whatever, we imagine we can lay out, like the Brady Bunch house. I kind of know how the whole thing works, even though they were just individual sets,
Exactly. And I've spent, Susan Olsen is one of my very good friends who played Cindy Brady. I had quizzed her about the Brady Bunch set, and she tells me everything. And it's just, I would love to see that set in real life. I would love to see pictures. There just aren't any. So
there aren't, really.
I wish there were. Somebody's got some in a shoebox somewhere, but I just don't know who and I don't know where.
Well, I know a couple people that, like Lloyd Schwartz, the son of Sherwood Schwartz.
He's probably got plenty of them, but again, they're just not, they haven't come to life online and probably won't.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to get him to do it. Maybe I'll get him. Maybe I'll get him on the show.
That would be good.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Do it.
Okay, so that's a great idea. So we're going to move on. I had some other thing that I just wanted to show you this. Are you familiar with this tilt shift photography, where it miniaturizes things that are? I never understood this, but I started looking into it the other day because it's just so fascinating to me. Where you take something that is life size and you make it look like it's a model, and it's incredible to me because the technology is really just blurring certain parts of the image so that it tricks your eye into thinking it's small. And it's all about perception. So essentially there's a blur at the top of the screen, there's a blur at the bottom of the screen. They also tend to move them, they speed it up. Because in speeding it up, it tricks you into thinking there's less inertia. And apparently on a smaller thing like on your set, if you move something around, it doesn't move like big things move because big things have a lot more weight and are affected more by gravity. So they speed it up, and then they do this tilt shift photography thing, and all of a sudden you think it's miniature as well. So I just wanted to point that out, that a lot of times our eyes are tricked because of our preconceived notions about things. And to that end, I want to take it even further because this is something I wanted to show everybody. If you're ever bummed out or you're having a difficult time or you really want to get some perspective on the world and what's important and what's not, go over to the European Southern Observatory because they have this film that they made in, I think it was some kind of anniversary or something. And this film zooms out from the Earth. So now all of a sudden we all become miniature. And it is just unbelievable, this thing, because, have you seen this before, Charles?
No, never.
It just is one of these things that, because this show is about miniaturizing, starts to make you realize we're all miniature. We're all gigantic and we're all very tiny, depending on your perspective. And this goes on for a while, but thank you so much, Charles, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for everybody doing it. Thank you.
And it's great to see somebody that's so detail-oriented, somebody who does something just out of the pure love of it. Because I don't think you did this to I don't think you did this for any other purpose other than because you enjoy it, right?
No, that's it. I just love to do it.
And I hope that you will apply these incredible skills that you have to some other things. I know I'm gonna think of something that I want you to do.
Hey, anybody out there listening, if you want me to do anything on your show,
yeah,
for a week or two, whatever, pre-production, production, post, whatever, let me know.
I am definitely going to keep you in my Rolodex, as it were. Yeah, so Charles, thanks so much. Now we're moving on to the dance break of the show. So what I do is I have a performer who's on YouTube who might not be the most famous person as of yet, but soon they will be because they're so incredibly talented. Today I have the incredible Kyle McKearney, who's been on the show before doing cover songs. And today we're going to see him do an original song. And so here he is. This thing, by the way, I just want to fast forward a little bit. It keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. And there's our galaxy right there. And we just go on and on and on.
Suddenly I feel so smart.
I know. I do too. Anyway, dance break time. All right, here we go. So this is Kyle McKearney. He's a Canadian performer. We're just lucky to have his music on the show. The history of the flea circus. I would like to talk about that sometime. Thanks everybody for being here today. I'll try and be quiet while I listen to this.
Wanted signs, though apologies, whiskey,
Charles, do you like this kind of music?
I like any kind of music.
Any kind of music.
Devil water.
It's called Devil Water. It's Kyle McKearney. I'm going to kind of dance around.
I've been running free, keeps my sanity. my alibi. We're just doing me.
We've had him on the show multiple times.
Never water.
Just super talented. Never had him just. This is one take, and it's just him in the studio.
Banded by my self-control. I got it on my own. At least I'm not alone. Stuck inside this carnival.
Jose, you want a t-shirt?
Clouds and kindred soul is where I come home. Devil water. Yeah, I got my
So go to Kyle McKearney's website, subscribe, you listen to this song, multiple other songs. They're really an up-and-coming great band.
Destiny, I don't feel no shame.
There's much jubilation.
Down in flames instead of
All right, thanks a lot, Charles. Thanks, Kyle, for letting us play a little bit of your song. And this has been Lunch Therapy. I'll see everybody on Wednesday. Over and out.